If you're thinking about buying a property in Dubai, I thought I'd create this short video to share with you that headline process. If you're new to the channel, this is where myself, my wife, my two boys are sharing our journey of relocating from the UK to Dubai. It's quite bright here at the moment, but we're still based in the UK. We're moving in just under 2 months' time. And if you have watched some of the previous videos, you'll know that we're pretty anchored against renting for the first year. Buying feels like such a commitment, but being honest with you, the idea of like dead money hurts me. So I naturally had to go and explore what are the options in case we wanted to go and buy a place. So I'm just going to talk you through that today. So the first part with buying any property is working out your affordability. So there's a couple of fees that you need to be aware of, because if you go across to some of the websites to start searching for properties, and I guess the one that I've been using just for reference is called Bayut, so BAYUT.com. That's where I've been searching for properties, both for rentals as well as to purchase. You'll see all the pricing in AED, but there's two extra fees you just need to factor in immediately on top of that price. There's a 2% agency fee and a 4% transfer fee. So just make sure you factor that in. Next, unless you're a pure cash buyer, you're likely going to be looking for a mortgage. And from what I've explored so far, you're going to have to put about 25% of the property value down as a deposit. You can get some people that will do 20%, but if you use 25% of a safe benchmark, that'll probably put you in good standing. Also, I'm not going to pretend to be finance on the internet right now. I'm not going to talk through like all the interest rates and bits like that. I'm just going to talk through the process. But one thing you will need as part of this process is a great broker. When I say a great broker, I think it's finding someone that you get on with that doesn't feel like they're rushing you through the process and really talks to you about the pros and cons of the decisions that you're making. So I spoke to someone back in November, explained to them that I wouldn't be looking for this until sort of like Q2, maybe Q3 next year, but we've stayed in contact. He's continually shared some advice and support with me during that time, jumped on a couple of Google Meets and had a discussion. That's the sort of relationship that I value. So just whether you're looking to do it in 3 months' time or a year's time, I would say reach out, find some people that you can get on with, and then build that relationship, because it is such a meaningful transaction for you if you're looking at doing this. So the first step is, specifically if you're a finance buyer, you need to get that pre-approval from the bank. So your broker will help you with that. They'll collect a bunch of information. So pay slips, your Emirates ID, your proof of employment, all this stuff that proves who you are. As with any country, I'm assuming, I'm just based in the UK, but they want to know who you are and what your income is. Your broker will help collect all that information up, as well as the fact you've got the right residency status to actually apply for a mortgage in Dubai. And we'll send it across to the bank and they will give you that pre-approval letter. That pre-approval letter is a confirmation from the bank that says you're able to go and bid on a property, and it will be valid for 60 days. You need that before you go and start actually viewing and putting any bids in, or sellers really won't take you seriously at that point in time. So then you got to find your property. That's when you can go and do all the viewings, which my wife enjoys. I don't. I just want to get on with stuff. But that's when you can go and find all the properties that fit within your affordability criteria, find a place, and you can put an offer in. In terms of having the highest chance of success with your offer, the advice that I've been given is place your offer in writing, include a 10% deposit check as a sign of commitment. And at this point in time, they will also request copies of your ID, so your passport, and your Emirates ID for anyone that will show up on the title deeds of the property. Let's say that bid that you've put in is accepted. You then enter the MOU stage. So that's a Memorandum of Understanding, also known as a Form F. So once that contract is in place, all the documents can be signed, and that 10% deposit check that we just spoke about will be handed over. It's at this point in time that if you are using finance on the property, that the bank will have to do a valuation of the property before you can get what's called the NOC. I'll get to that in just a second. So the bank has to do a valuation, and then the seller also has to get a statement to outline all of the, I guess, debt or value outstanding on that property that the buyer is going to pay off. From here, you then have to go and get that NOC document, which is a No Objection Certificate. And that comes from the property developer. That's basically a document to say, hey, all the outstanding fees on this apartment, this block, this building are completely settled from the seller. This is just to ensure things like the service charge on the property have been paid in full. And it's also not free. You'll pay anywhere between 500 and 5,000 AED to obtain the No Objection Certificate, that NOC document. And at that point in time, the developer may also ask for a refundable deposit. And in order to get that deposit refunded, that will only happen once you present the new title deeds at the developer's office once the transaction's gone through. And we're nearly there. Once you're at this stage, you need to head over to the DLD, which is the Dubai Land Department. And that 4% transfer fee, that's when you need to write that check there. And you'll also pay an admin fee. It seems like there's like fees on fees, especially in a short form video like this, but there's an admin fee you also need to pay that can't excess more than 4,000 AED. Once all the formalities at this point in time have been completed, new title deeds will be generated to put you on the deeds as the owner and buyer of that property. You should then loop back round and make sure you get that refundable deposit, but at that point in time, the property is yours. Hopefully this is a quick headlines of how to buy a property in Dubai. If you've got any questions, guys, let me know. Again, we're pretty committed to renting, but we are exploring this process right now. If you have any questions, suggestions, or builds, please put in the comments. And if there's anything specifically you want to know, we travel out there in 2 or 3 weeks time from now to go and get our apartment or secure a place. We're sort of keeping options open, and then we move out in 8 weeks time. But we'll be boots on the ground fully in a couple of months. And if there's anything specific that we can help with, let us know. Stay well, stay busy. Speak soon. Bye-bye.